Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Friday, January 31st, 2025. Now, there was a superseding indictment filed yesterday afternoon, docketed, voted on by the grand jury of Sean Combs. It doesn't change it all that much, but it adds more detail, and it definitely shows that they're hammering away. So there was that. We put it online. You can find it on Inner City Press, Patreon, and elsewhere. But there's been a lot of Eric Adams rumors, very little action. He was down, ostensibly sick for a few days, then he was back, fighting back. There's talk of his lawyers trying to get the case against him dropped via the Trump administration. There's talk about him pleading guilty, which he totally denied, also that he was going to resign. But the more serious talk may be that the superseder is finally going to drop. They went very narrow. They went very narrow with the Turkish mission, UN angle. But they seem to be more, so I'd be on the lookout for that. And they seem to be, these two cases are kind of moving in parallel in terms of timing. I remember when they were first announced, and Damian Williams, is he a candidate? Is he running? Held back-to-back, pretty much, press conferences on Combs and Adams. So I would be looking for an Adams superseder. That's word to the wise. Now, also, I guess, week ahead, Rudy, we thought it was over. Of course, the collections aid action with the Georgia poll workers is over, but there's still a case where they're trying to subpoena him, and we put up a letter about that, and we're gonna have more on that next week. And sadly, at least from my point of view, we may have something on this Blake Lively, Baldoni, it ends with us situation. It's coming to SDNY, and if it comes to the SDNY, we got to cover it. So we will be there. But yesterday, this is the kind of case I like to cover, at least for a civil case. Quite interesting. Victims and survivors of October 7 versus Binance. It was about an hour and a half oral argument on Binance's motion to dismiss. They said all they did was have accounts. It all seems to turn, or much of it seems to turn, on a message they found from 2020 in which inside Binance they said, our outside vendor or whatever, contractor, has identified a high-profile Hamas person with a raising funds through a Binance account. And they said, well, this could be a problem. Tell him to just take his money out and then tell him that he's been flagged by the government. This is, according to the plaintiffs, this is not what you're supposed to do as a financial institution when you find terrorists on your platform. Let them, clue them in that they've been flagged and let them take their money out to use. Now, of course, Binance, defended by Cahill Gordon, said you can't show that the money taken out in 2020 was used in 2023 on October 7th. I don't know. We put behind on Substack and on Extra subscribers our view of where this case is going. But the contrast to me is also with the case of UNRWA. Whatever Binance did in what I just described is significantly less than what UNRWA has by its own admission. And there's probably much more than they don't admit. There is. Much worse, because the allegations against UNRWA is actually direct assistance, direct participation in October 7th. So if an SDNY lawsuit, this is a known character down here, if an SDI lawsuit against Binance can go forward for aiding and abetting, how much more so an organization which actually participated in a terrorist attack? Now, the thing is that the UN claims total immunity. And at least currently, that is the position of the U.S. State Department. I'm hoping to learn more about that this morning. We'll see, but we're going in. If this is the last one of the week, have a good weekend. Inner City Press, to be continued.